What's up, everybody? It's Wellness Week Live. It's me, your boy DJ Anthony. It says it right there. I'm a DJ. You know it's real. Hey, let's talk about fentanyl. What is fentanyl? On today's show, Wellness Week Live. Okay, so let me just start out by saying I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any medical advice or legal advice. Always check with your healthcare professionals because I don't know shit. Cross-reference, research everything I'm talking about. Okay, don't believe me. Do the research on your own. Okay. Fentanyl. We hear about fentanyl. It's the new it girl, okay? Fentanyl's killing, fentanyl. You know, it's the new thing out there, which is ironic because it's been around since the 50s. But anyways, but fentanyl's a big problem. And, I want to do this show because, like you, I know a lot of people who are struggling, who have passed away. Friends, family, colleagues, neighbors who have struggled, are struggling, or have passed away from all sorts of drugs, including alcohol. Alcohol is a drug, but fentanyl is in the news nowadays, and we hear a lot about it. And yeah, it's not to be fucked with, but it's also not to be. We shouldn't be scared because we control whether we want to do fentanyl or not. We have power, assuming you haven't already done drugs. So if you have never done a drug and you don't do drugs, the power's in our hands, And even if you are on drugs, you are more powerful than but you have to seek the right help, of course. And there's a lot of links in our Wellness Week library and page here that can get you the help you need. Of course, 988 is a great tool. That's a crisis helpline. And there's a bunch of other numbers out there I'm sure you can Google. So, okay, let me say this. Like I said before, I've lost a lot of friends and loved ones to all sorts of drugs, including alcohol, which is a drug. I don't do drugs, actually. I've never done a drug. I don't do drugs. I don't plan on doing drugs. I've never even been drunk or buzzed. And I'm a professional DJ who's done thousands of events. I can go and get whatever drug I want because oftentimes I'm in nightclubs and the night scene. And, they all say nothing good happens after 11 p.m. Oh, trust me, I know. I've seen it. But I don't do it. So you might be asking, where does he get the fucking cojones to talk about drugs, this Stroons? He doesn't even know shit, this guy. He's never done it. What does he know? He's never walked in our shoes. Well, I have, because again, I have buried loved ones. I have buried family. I have buried people that I love and that are close to me. Okay. I've gone to too many funerals and I've walked with people that I loved in their struggle, and some have won and some have lost their lives. So I know about drugs, been frontline on it with the ones that I love and I've lost. So, drugs affect more than the person that it directly affects. It has ancillary, collateral damage. In some ways, drugs affect the family more than the drug user because we're watching someone we love die, and sometimes there's nothing we can do, and it's just heartbreaking. So in some ways, it's harder on the family than the actual drug user, or abuser. So that's what gives me the street cred to talk about this shit. And before I get into the fentanyl thing, what is fentanyl? Just, if we have to have compassion and love for drug addicts, drug users, that means alcoholics too, people who are addicted to beer, wine, margaritas. And that's not a joke because you're going to find out here that alcohol is a lot more dangerous than fentanyl. Yep. But anyways, it's the fentanyl show. So, but my point is we have to love, pray for, and don't shun, don't hate people who are addicted to drugs. They're not bad. They're not evil. Sure, they're weak, but we're all weak in our own ways. So who the hell are you to cast judgment on them? Because by the grace of God, we go. I mean, any of us can be hooked onto anything. And if you don't think so, most of the heroin and opioid deaths are not from the street dirtbags. They're from good people who got hooked on prescriptions from their doctor, and the doctor's unwittingly prescribing. There's a whole thing about this. These drugs. So, drugs can reach any of us, especially if you're someone who likes to have a drink once in a while. Alcohol is a real bitch. I mean, it's not to be messed with. So, it can affect any of us. So don't think you're better than anybody, or that you can't touch you. Be humble because, anyways, my point is we have to love the people and help the best we can the people that are struggling with their addictions, and fentanyl is no different. So, what is fentanyl? Well, fentanyl is a type of opioid. It's a type of heroin, uh, which which initially all these drugs were started by scientists or pharmaceutical companies to try to help people, and then of course they get into the street and they're morphed into these monsters. And even if they're not morphed into these monsters, prescription drugs also kill, unfortunately. So these are things that have consequences. It's not candy, it's not water, it's not sugar. So fentanyl is a type of opioid. It's a type of heroin. It's a type of painkiller. So that's what fentanyl is. And fentanyl actually was created back in 1959, believe it or not. It's been around for a long time, fentanyl. And again, it's a type of heroin, type of opioid that's like on steroids, so to speak. So fentanyl was prepared and developed by Dr. Paul Janssen in 1959 under a patent held by his company, Janssen Pharmaceutica. Okay, so it was patented and invented as I always mess this word up, a type of anesthesia and analgesic. Forget tongue twister. But anyways, you know what I'm talking about. It's a potent type of. I know you're probably yelling at the speaker now. Oh, say it right, you freaking moron! I'm a DJ. What do you want? You think I would know how to say this because I am a DJ. I speak right, but it's a type of morphine. It's hundreds of times stronger than morphine. It's not a type of morphine. It's hundreds of times stronger than morphine. Anyways, so it was initially invented as a painkiller, to help people in a medical setting. Come on, say it with me. Analgesic. Analgesic. Okay, a type of anesthesia of sorts for the body. So that's how fentanyl started, 1959, by a scientist. Not some boogeyman, not some bad guy, but now it's used on the streets, of course. So let's talk about how many people die every year, because numbers matter, deaths matter, okay? So about 250,000, so 250,000 people. That's a quarter of a million, right? Have died from fentanyl overdose since 2018, though. Okay, so last year, about 70,000 people died from fentanyl in the U.S. So last year, about 70,000 people died of fentanyl. It's a lot. However, pales in comparison to beer and alcohol, because last year 140,000 people died from beer, alcohol, wine, margaritas, shots. Can you imagine? So now this is the part where you say, yeah, but alcohol's legal. Okay, so those deaths don't matter. Those people matter. Those lives matter. 140,000 people died last year from beer, alcohol. 70,000 died of fentanyl last year. So alcohol is far more deadly than fentanyl all day, every day. Alcohol is not to be messed with either. But back to fentanyl. This is the fentanyl show. So fentanyl killed about 70,000 people last year. Now, here's the thing where fentanyl, why it's so scary. So fentanyl has no taste, has no smell. You could inadvertently take fentanyl and not even know it, and now you're dead. So let's rewind a little bit here. What does fentanyl, well, I already said that. What does fentanyl taste like? It doesn't taste like anything. It doesn't smell like anything. What does fentanyl look like? Well, it looks like white powder or a liquid. It comes in powder or liquid forms, and it can be put into a form of a pill. So, on the street, you might be thinking, oh, I'm going to just take some ecstasy, and it's fentanyl. You're dead. Now, fentanyl doesn't kill everybody. Actually, fentanyl doesn't kill most people that take it. Fentanyl kills when it's given in too high of a dose, which is relative speaking, because fentanyl is very powerful gram for gram versus anything out there. So what does fentanyl feel like? So like I said, I don't do drugs, like I don't know firsthand, but just doing some research. Fentanyl feels like euphoria. They have a term for this. It's called God's blanket. So it says, the primary feeling one gets from using fentanyl is ecstasy, uh, euphoria, highly pleasurable. It feels like they say like God's holding you. Like you're just so at peace, so happy, and so who wouldn't like that, right? Well, the problem is it's addictive, obviously, and it kills. So, why do drug dealers deal in fentanyl? Why do drug dealers put it in shit if it's so dangerous? You would think, don't drug dealers want their clients to stay alive so they can make money on them? And that's true. Drug dealers, what they're doing is bad, uh, but drug dealers don't want to kill their clients, their customers. So what happens is, because they don't have PhDs in chemistry, the street drug dealers are doing their best to bring you to the brink, to give you that extra high or whatever, make you feel amazing. And sometimes they put a little bit more in than they should, not knowing that, because they don't want to kill you, but they do, and then you're dead. So it's used to really bolster up the drug, or make any drug quote unquote better, or more potent. So because, as you probably drug users are always looking for the next best thing, the next best high. So this takes it, another notch or 10 notches or whatever it is. But again, because street drug dealers are not PhDs in chemistry, they're going to mess up a lot and give somebody more than they can handle, and that's how you die. It's not regulated and stuff like that. So, that's why you know people die from the fentanyl. But the drug dealers are not trying to kill you. It just happens as a collateral damage, because, like I said, they're trying to give you the most bang for your buck, so to speak. And unfortunately, people are buying the farm. So, let's go through a couple other things I want to touch on. Like I said, you can't taste it, can't doesn't smell. What else? So that's basically fentanyl in a nutshell. I wanted to say something else. I think I have all the things I wanted to talk about in my study here. Yeah, we're gonna taste, the look, the smell, the invention. What is it? Deaths per year. So, I mean, there are more dangerous drugs out there like alcohol, but fentanyl is very dangerous, again, because of its potency. So ounce for ounce, it's more powerful than anything out there. And it comes from overseas, gets funneled through southern America, through Mexico, and then onto our streets. There's a lot that our government has to do, but there's a lot that we can do as citizens, being educated, talking to our friends, our loved ones, our children. The scary thing again about fentanyl is it can be put into anything. It can be put into marijuana, put into pot, put into, you name it, and nobody would know, because there's no taste to it. There's no odor. So, if you're out there clubbing or going out, or you're someone who's doing drugs, I mean, I don't know, dude. I know we all know people who smoke pot. I tell my friends who smoke pot, it's legal now. Just go and get it from a legal government regulated place, because I know a guy. Hey, I know a guy. I can trust him. Yeah, but can you trust the guy your guy is getting it from, the other guy, the guy down the chain of command? You know what I mean? And so, because even a tiny, tiny, pencil head of fentanyl in your marijuana, now you're dead. Alcohol, same thing. Don't be getting, bootleg alcohol. Go buy alcohol from, a store. You know what I mean? Same thing with pot. Like, and God forbid you're doing cocaine or other shit. I mean, hopefully you can stop. And again, you're loved. We want you to get the help you need. It's I know that once you get hooked on this stuff, your your mind and your body is not your own anymore. And addiction is a serious thing. So there's help out there. There's links on our YouTube page here on Wellness Week to get you the help. You deserve the best. The best is yet to come. You can beat this, but you need a team around you. And no man, no woman is an island. We all need people, whether you're addicted to drugs or not. We all need a team around us: friends, colleagues, neighbors, priests, rabbis, imams, coaches, whoever it is. Like, it's okay to get help. All of us need help. Anybody. We all need help in our own ways, you know. So I go to counseling for my daily stresses and my stuff. And if counseling is good enough for me, it's good enough for anybody. And there's free stuff. There's free counseling out there. There's counseling on a budget out there. Their help is out there, but the first stride is the longest. You can do it. The best is yet to come, and I want the best for you. So that's fentanyl, everybody. Be safe out there. Love you. And I'm signing off. Don't forget, like, subscribe. We got to get our numbers up. We're getting our asses kicked out here in Jersey. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.